What up, what up, what up? The third installment. McCullough. Mr. Weaver, what's good? Combo, they just mentioned you. What's good, brother? Crazy enough, you just mentioned Drew, and Drew just got on
Yeah,
here.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah,
That was my
yeah.
guy.
Good things, good things. Nothing bad about you, brother. Relax.
Now we were saying how much of a bum you were, man. E, what's up, E?
Mr. Weaver.
Yeah,
So
so
you
like I
said
said,
Germany, right?
yeah, we had a great team, that NBA team. I told you we were stacked, man, for real.
Yeah.
And Drew came on the bench. You know, we had a great team, man.
Yeah.
That team ended up being pretty much dismantled, because of getting offers, guys leaving, stuff like that. You know, I think Drew went out. I think he got a job out in Israel. I think that year, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that that year was pretty good. So I got a call to go out to Germany, Bremerhaven. And it was with their lower level, team. But and it was great for B because it was all basketball. You know,
Got
and there were times we had two a days, stuff like that,
it. Yep.
and it was good training, it was good work, you know, and I mean, obviously it was a lower level, so it wasn't the competition, that was expected, but what they wanted me to do was to beat who was supposed to be the eventual champion ship team because I guess expected to come in second. Or they had lost to them, the first game. They had beat them, but they knew that, they needed to beat them again or whatever the case is. So uh I did my part, averaged 20 and 8,
What
you
was that
know.
experience like being overseas? Like being away from home
It
on your
was
own?
it was great for me, to experience that. For me, I'm comfortable being, on my own. I
Oh,
didn't go home, much for my own, even though it was close.
okay.
You know, I stayed up there, campus closed and by myself, If I went home, it was just pretty much during the holidays,
Oh, got you.
and the home cooked food that came, it was when my mom's, pops came to the game, which was every game.
Got it. Got it.
So, you know, other than that, I was in school, you
Okay.
know. But if there was, anything important, it was close enough for,
For you to
to go
take care of
away.
it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
So
uh,
Germany, what was that? What was that experience like for you
that
though?
experience was different. It was great, here growing up on the east side of Harlem, right downstairs, use a lot of drugs and stuff like that on 125th Street.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as it is now, because now they're pretty much funneling, a bunch of programs in that area,
Okay.
so it's not, these are not people that's from Harlem, these are people from all over that's pushed into these programs, and it's about 3 or 4 programs right there in that area. So when they
Got
go in the building, shit, they ain't going far,
you. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But it wasn't as bad, uh, growing up, and then pretty much you see a whole bunch of beggars, whether they're homeless or not.
Yeah.
You know, I saw one guy on the street, one homeless person. It looked clean. You know what I'm
Got
saying? Like,
Yes, sir.
it was a different atmosphere. And, going out, seeing Chinese people speaking German, it
Different.
was different, man. It was different.
Yeah.
I fell in love with Mexican food out there.
Oh,
Mexican,
in
great
Germany.
in Germany. So it was different.
Yeah.
When knowing I had some young guys out there, who were still in school. So, you know, they got to speak 3 languages before they can graduate. You
Wow.
know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a military base that's close, so it's a few Americans out there.
Got it.
Really close. To the area, and but there's still racism.
Okay.
Being that the World War, stuff like that. There's a lot of Russians out there.
Okay.
Out there, they're speaking German, Russian, English, French, and Spanish.
Wow.
But they all know English. They
Okay.
have to learn. English is the language that they have to learn, and then they can pick one or 2 of the others.
Okay. Got it.
So English and German, definite.
Yeah.
And most of them, grow up already speaking Russian. So there's a lot of guys out there speaking 4 languages. So that's another, culture shock, because, we, no disrespect to, anybody who doesn't speak English, but, for Americans, it's like, if you don't speak English, then, you grow up like, yo, he's stupid, you don't know English.
Yeah, you hit. You hit. Yeah, you hit.
Yo, because he don't know English, he's stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, I wanted to learn Spanish my whole life,
Got you.
And they taught me Latin at all Hallows, man. Man, I was destined to speak one language.
So how'd that year go for you out there?
It was great. It was awesome, man. My teammate at Iona, he was playing in a town, nearby, about 2 hours away. I took a train to see him when we were off, and I know, the way of this game, and it's a lot of who as opposed to what and who's going to lift a finger to help.
Yeah.
So, and the mindset of my man is out here, I go spend some time with him, or whatever the case is, maybe get invited to practice or something like that, just trying to make my way, even though I already had that set up where I was.
Yeah.
Because that was the idea, so so I spent some time over there. I think it's Potterbon, whatever the case is.
Yep.
Spent some time with him and family and stuff like that. So that was good, traveling out there, on my own. Then I rubbed elbows with Brian Brown, Bishop Loughlin, legend.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Tava, not Antonio Tava. Tolliver. He's in the NBA, man. He made a name for himself out there in Germany. Ended up in the league. And Tony Bobbitt.
Okay.
So real, talking with Tony Bobbitt was good. Hanging out, stuff like that. He actually played, or eventually played, with my cousin Dante Milligan in the D League.
Got you.
Dante ended up at UMass, so he was playing with the Massachusetts D League team, and him and Tony was on the same team and stuff like that. So
Anthony Tolliver, Dana said.
Here you go, yeah.
Yep.
So just rubbing elbows with them, learning, a little bit here, a little bit there, stuff like that. So it was great. I was out there for about 5 months, did my job, like I said, 28. We ended up losing to those guys, but, their goal was to make it, to the next level up.
Yeah.
And we just had to play an extra game. We smacked those guys, and, they were able to, to move the team up a level, so that was my experience playing competitively, overseas. And that was pretty much it. Cause, from there, it didn't, for me, playing and competing, I told you, I worked on my jump shot a lot. So, I'm competing, in Rucker, competing in Nike Pro City, against the pros, pro rules. For me, it's like should be some agents there, you know, some teams there, stuff like that. You
Yeah.
know, obviously talks, you know, Marvin's pretty good, you know, Jerry's cousin, you know, Bob's son, you know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had guys asking me about Steve. Like, why are you
Got you.
asking me about Steve?
Yeah.
So, you know, getting questions like, you know, yo, Marv, you killing, yo, where you playing? Nowhere, you know.
Mm.
And and this, it was good to hear that I forget who it was, Matt, spoke about, oh, it was Pete. So the interview with Pete, he said, you know, Kenny Sad hooked him up. You know, that's good to hear because that doesn't get done often, you know.
Oh,
And
I've
so,
seen. I thought it would be a common thing amongst like a fraternity of
correct,
basketball players. You know what I mean? But I see in certain instances it's more like crabs in a barrel.
right,
Like I'm not trying to get you a job. I'm trying to get a job myself.
correct,
You know what I mean? Whereas I've also seen instances like that. Like I've been with Sat and he'll call somebody and be
right,
like, "Yo, what's good?" Like, you know what I mean? And
right.
I don't think that's done enough, like you said. You
No,
know what I mean?
it's definitely not, you know, and it's not knocking anybody, you know,
Not at
but
all. Not
I just think it should be done a lot more, you know, because
absolutely.
and that way, you know, everybody wins. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, so
Every generation keeps giving. You know what I mean? And it'll give back, bro. It's
right,
and it keeps the city at a certain point, and it keeps everybody. It gives the kids more to look forward to. Like, okay, listen, I gotta get this college degree because if I'm academically ineligible, I can't play. But if I do the right thing and I do get these books, this is what I can get out of it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like you said, not everybody's gonna go to the NBA, and that's
no,
a fact. Not everybody's gonna get an opportunity to play overseas, and that's a fact. You know what I mean? At whatever level anybody's played professional basketball, I respect it because I know how hard that shit is and how political it gets. So whether you
yeah,
first league, second league, third, whatever, I respect it all, man, because it's all a grind. You know what I mean?
I had a conversation with Dre Barrett,
Yeah.
you know, and we pretty much had that same discussion, you know. He was like, yo, I give respect to everybody. I don't
Fact.
if you did this, you know, everybody got different routes, you know.
Yes,
However
absolutely.
that you did, you got where you got, you know, it's a whole bunch of respect, you know.
100.
And you know, so I think he ran into a situation with, you know, somebody doubted him and he pretty much had to suit up and, you know, and like, this is really who I am. You know what I mean? You,
Absolutely.
you know, so it's like, it's much respect, you know, to everybody's journey and, you know, how they got with it, you know, where they were. So
100%.
I'm playing in Pro City. My cousin is pretty much, he's still playing, you know, I'm going, I'm hanging out with him straight, you know, uh, A-Mass, you know, just, and Red Autry, you know, we
Yeah.
just working out, you know, me and Jerry went out to Fordham, you know, worked out with Sham,
Yep.
you know, so I'm just getting all the tutelage, getting better, you know, Red, Red could shoot, Red showed me, you know, his tricks of the trade and, you
Mm-hmm.
know, how he comes up and stuff like that, you know, and everybody's pretty much taking me under their wing, you know, and I'm showing, you know, improving, you know, myself, you know, playing in Pro City and stuff like that, which is, you know, a pro type game,
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
you know. So I spoke to Jerry about this the other day. I think he forgot, you know, but he was pretty much on the tail end of his career, you
Mm.
know. And I actually got one chance to play with him, you know, but I ain't play because he was on the team. So, but
Got it.
but Jerry was at the tail end of his career, you know, and he was like, "Yo, Marv, this is my last year," you know. So, but is up to, it's between two things. I think he was going to Italy or France, one of those two.
Okay.
Another option was Russia. So he's like, yo, if I go to Russia, no, he said if I go to, whether it was Italy or France, if I go to, if I go there, yo, I'm gonna take you with me.
Okay.
I'm gonna work out a deal, whatever. You play with the lower team, whatever the case like that. If not, you be practicing with us or whatever. You stay out here with me for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, great. He said, but the other option is Russia. He said, if I'm out there, that's pretty much a favor for me, and it ain't gonna work out. So, and obviously everybody knows Russia is a lot more money.
Yeah.
So that was like his last year or two, whatever the case is, So he ended up going out to Russia. So for me, it was like, damn, So,
Yeah.
but it was somebody who went out his way, training, stuff like that. Even though he's my cousin, even family don't have to do that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
He's obligated.
Not at all.
Yep.
So, rubbing elbows with Strick, rubbing elbows with, Speedy, Red Archery, Sham, so, and even playing him one-on-one, stuff like that, so, from there it was pretty much, all right, cool, playing in Pro City, playing in summertime, Orchard Beach, stuff like that, and just trying to find your way as far as, work is concerned, stuff like that. So, but I also played in the ABA after that with was with Tim again with Headache, and now my man Tim's man Mike Logan is coaching.
Okay.
Now I'm playing with Gordon Malone, Tim, Sean Dantzler, a few other guys, that I failed to mention. Really good team as well, and playing in the ABA, but now we're also playing because Logan has connections up in Albany. So now we're playing against the Albany Patroons. Okay. And I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm playing against a CBA team.
Yep.
Something comes from there, whatever the case is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And every time we played against them, I did my thing.
Okay.
There's 18-9 at 25, 8-6.
Good games.
And yeah, great games.
Yeah, absolutely. Great.
And pretty much nothing came from it, know. So, from there, okay, what's the next thing,
Yep.
My man, James Ryan, he's working with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay.
So he's like, yo, I told, these guys about you, whatever the case is. Obviously, he mentioned my father's name and, a couple of my father's friends who were like uncles to me who are actually, Globetrotters, so, and then Sam, my coach at Iona, he's working with them as well, so I get invited out there to training camp, stuff like that. I'm playing with the Generals, which is cool because they pretty much let me know, listen, there's some guys here that we're trying to get rid of, but they're under contract. So it's pretty much like a waiting game. It's pretty much like he was a ref, so he talking about from out Detroit. So it was pretty much like a waiting game. He's trying to get rid of a few guys, but the crew that I was with, that we was with, it was more like the competitive crew. The Globetrotters coach pretty much allowed us to go at each other, He didn't give us no calls, but they allowed us, he wanted to keep his job, so that was cool. We went at it, man. They allowed us to play a lot more than what you would see on TV or anything like that. Like we had times when we went at it. It was sometimes we were supposed to win the games, man. You know, but but obviously it's a Globetrotter show. You
Did
know,
they
so
ever beat them?
huh?
Did the Generals ever beat them?
I think they beat them like one time or something like that, or a long time ago.
Oh,
Man.
got it.
Now it's not in the cards. It's for the kids. It's a show. You know, because I took you to dinner. Yo, that chili was good, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call my man Billy Roach now and let him know. He's gonna say, "Yo, you talking about whoopie, whoop?" I'm gonna call my man now, man. Tell me talking about Billy.
So
You know,
after the Globetrotters, you played again. You played again professional after the Globetrotters.
no,
That was last stop.
that was it. They wanted me to stay on.
Yeah.
I was. Summertime. They got the American tour, and in the summertime, we went to Brazil, Argentina, China.
Nice.
I've been to about 6 or 7 different countries with them.
Yeah, that's what's up.
After the Brazil and Argentina tour, they were supposed to go to Mexico. Well, they went to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know if it was going to be for a whole month, or it ended up being like a week or 2 or something like that. But they wanted me to commit while I was, while we were out in Brazil.
Yeah.
And you want me to commit for a possible, if it's for a month, I'm good. I'll do that.
Yeah.
But you admit it got trickled down to 2 to 3 weeks or 2 weeks, and I'm like, nah, my bills don't stop, so
That's a fact.
it's up for the summer, so I didn't go, got a job, for the summer, which led to another job, pretty much during the school year. So I really didn't go back. Okay. So from there, it was quiet because it's like, for me, it was like me chasing basketball. And
yeah,
I'm used to basketball chasing,
chasing
people play games, stuff like that. And I had my time, running through the city, killing, doing my, and I was pretty much done with that. That was 2010. So I was done. And a lot of the tournaments after that, I'm playing with my family. I'm playing with each one, teach one. Especially Carrera, my brother, Jomo, RIP, my brother, PJ, Walt,
Okay.
through Kiru on a couple teams,
Yeah.
I would have, for what I wanted Ricky and Steve, because I had Ricky play with me in high school in a few tournaments, but I got a family full of guards, so it really,
that's tough.
and they wanted to play.
So that's pretty much stuck.
It wasn't in the cards, so I spent my time playing with my family. My first street ball, stuff I played with Bingo. We lost in Dyckman in the championship. That was Bingo's first year. I actually hit the 3 to take us into the championship game.
Nice.
With them. But again, I played in Dyckman, but it wasn't really my cup of tea.
Yeah, I asked to get you one year.
I love it.
Like I asked Bob one year. I was like, "Yo, bring Bob." He was like, "He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it." I was like, "Really?" He was like, "He ain't gonna do it." Rick was playing with us. Kirill was playing with us in the Unlimited. And I was like, "Bring Marv." He was like, "Nah, he don't really do the summer thing like that, man."
Nah, I was interested in playing in Pro City.
That's the real basketball. Like
that was my, and it wasn't no knock to anybody or anything. I just felt like, for me, that was the game that I wanted to play.
Yeah, it's more structured. It's less of it's less of what you wanted to avoid, which was clear outs. You know what I mean? The street ball.
The clear out. I love term. Term never. I can't. Man, it's like a cage match, man. You know, he did everything except for take my wallet, Term. You ain't no call, nothing. Man, I'm good.
And then Turn be ready to fight. So
Oh, big time, man.
like just leave that man alone.
Big time. I'm mad quitting and coming to Iona.
That would have been tough.
Yeah,
What's life like for Marvin McCullough after basketball?
after basketball, I was working for Scan New York, man, and then I got a call from my high school coach, you know, and my high school principal to come back to All Hallows, you know, because right after I graduated Iona, Ed Gonzalez was the head coach. He had called me back to help out the school,
Okay.
you know, pretty much while I wasn't, you know, doing anything, you know, feeling like a bum, just helping out, giving back. And I helped out on both JV and varsity.
Okay.
You know, I had the luxury of of helping to try to put, you know, Chris De La Rosa under my wing, you know, help him out and stuff like that. That was his senior year. You know, so we pretty much had a good relationship. You know, it's really messed up how his senior year pretty much, you know, went with the back and forth with, you know, what he was doing and, you know, with New Heights and what was happening to him at the school, you know, all of that together, you know, it is pretty unfortunate, but it worked out well for him, you know. So
Yeah, he found his way eventually.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was a little concerned that he didn't stay at Siena
Yeah.
because, you know, coach there, he plays guards, you know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
I felt that he got a lot of time his freshman year.
Yep.
Probably got the same amount of time as like Steve and Ricky,
Yeah.
you know, their freshman years. And, you know, he ended up leaving, but I guess it was, you know, a better situation, whatever the case is. But
Yep.
I thought he definitely flourished underneath, I believe his name is Frank, you know, coach. I think he's coaching at Iowa now.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I had the luxury of helping out, you know, with him, you know, building a relationship with him and stuff like that. So that was good. And you know, build a relationship with a few other guys, a few other seniors that was on that team, and even Rashawn Stores, who's at Manhattan College now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as an assistant. You know, so I coached him. He played JV that year. You know, so I was helping him out with, you know, his emotions, up and down emotions about. But it ended up working out for the best. You know, he ended up being the point guard that we were pretty much telling him he was going to be.
Okay.
And he had a great career at Manhattan.
You still coaching?
At the moment, no. You know, I was at Hallows for 8 years, 6 as a head coach.
Hold on. What was that like for you to be able to coach at your old high school?
It was bittersweet. You know, it was great to go back, try to help out. You know, it was a lot expected. You
Of you
know,
or of the team?
not of the team. It wasn't much. It couldn't have been much expected of the team. You
Okay.
know, but a lot expected of me. You know, from the outside looking in. You know, and there's a bunch of hosts, but the way the school operates, it doesn't operate the way that it did when we was in school. You
Okay.
know, like they allowed alumni, you know, to help, you know, with tuition and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now they don't, you know, and AAU programs aren't, you know, paying for kids to go to school. Ernie Leutch and them, Lou DeMello and them, it was paying for kids to go to school. You know, it doesn't happen. You know, doesn't happen. You know, Gary D looked out for, you know, for his student athletes as well.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't happen. You know, not at all Hallows. Not saying that it still doesn't happen. It does happen, just not at all Hallows.
Yeah.
You know, so I had a sponsor. There was a lot of guys had sponsors. You know, I don't think there's anything illegal in that. You know, they're alumni of the school. They give them to the school, and all right, okay, you going to school for free.
Gotcha.
Public school, shit, the whole city pay for these public school guys to go to school. So
Basically.
so but it don't allow it the way that they used to, so I was trying to operate, with the hand that was dealt to me,
Got it.
and it didn't work out well with getting, these kids, into the school, because for whatever I could get done, it was still, hurting these guys' pockets, coming from the inner city with, with families, paying $400 or $500 a month, is difficult,
Absolutely.
It's difficult. Everybody's rent is, everybody's not on Section 8, or everybody's rent is not $200 living off grandma income, They're paying, $1,500 to $3,000 a month.
Home is $1,900 in Manhattan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's real.
From there, they probably got a car note, you know?
Insurance and bills and
all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Phone bill. And now gotta pay $400 for my son to go to school?
Yeah.
How?
Tough. Yeah, it's tough.
So that was me getting it knocked down.
Got it.
Because other than that, is almost 700. So,
how'd you guys do while you was coaching?
We didn't do well. The kids that were there, they did well. As far as getting better, I tried to pretty much give them like a college feel, study hall, when we had to film, let's watch some film on the teams and stuff like that. Let's have a film session. Let's do some preseason training. Let's do some postseason training. At that time, I didn't live far, early on. So call me, I'll be there, but you gotta want it,
Absolutely.
And that for me is like, if a coach tell me, yo, I need you to be here, I was there. Yo, let's do this, or if you want to do this, yo, call me. That was my invitation. So this is the same that I gave them.
Got it.
That didn't happen for me.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll take time out of my day. Yo, just call me if you want to get in the gym. So I had a few guys call me, and then a lot of guys didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, but I gave a lot of time, to the development of these guys, and then just try to, teach them the right way. I mean, some guys didn't like it, some guys did. It is what it is. And I tried to have at least one, sophomore, play varsity, so they could get their feet wet, as far, and it's not. And, a lot of people feel, though, since you play, varsity as a sophomore, they need to play. Yeah, they do need to play, but they don't need to play, 28 minutes. They don't need to play 20 minutes. They just need to play. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of people have that, misconstrued that they have to play. Prep school guys, you got sophomores on the team that don't play. You got freshmen on the team that don't play.
Facts.
When you go to college, you're a sophomore. You're probably not getting that time until your junior year.
Yeah.
So, you learn to wait your turn. You learn from competing and stuff like that. You can see it. I think Jason and Kiki, I don't think they got a lot of time this sophomore year playing varsity.
Got you.
But they were there. You know what I'm saying? They were there. And, you could say that, in practice, they're practicing against, Andre Barrett and, Sweet and all those guys.
Yep.
Hey, that's probably better than the game, but it's
absolutely.
And at the same time, you still wait your turn. You know what I mean?
I mean, you did your thing, because in college I read out of 200 games, you only didn't start 11, but
Yeah.
you played starter minutes your whole college career, bro.
Yeah.
And 11 out of 200,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
It,
impressive,
it,
bro.
it should have been 200 out of 200.
I hear that. I hear that. But where I'm from, and the
But
in the group I grew up with, we ain't played 200 minutes of college anything. So I salute to you, brother, and I really do hold you in higher regards than you would think, because we're not familiar with each other, but I know basketball. I'm 44 years old. I watched them all come up. Bob's family grew up with my family. So
nice.
I've known about, like, you and Ricky and the grind and the story. That's why you here. You understand? Because, I don't know how you see how it went, but from my eyes, watching what you did, I respect it. Every aspect of it.
I ask people all the time, you know. I asked one of my friends who I was playing against in the ABA.
Yeah.
What was the scouting report?
Yeah.
You know, because I just like to know, you know, what's happening. Because for me, like I said, I play to win, you know, whatever is given, whatever the case is, and I know my IQ is the best aspect of my game. You
Yeah.
know, he was like, Coach said, keep the ball out your hand. I'm like, why? So he, he said, he said, keep the ball out of his hand. You know, if he gives it up, don't let him get it back. Why? He's he's the smartest dude on the team. He's gonna make sure the ball gets in the right places, stuff like that. And you know that he can shoot. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
that's what I've always heard about you. Like,
I asked Tone, I say, yo, Tone, what is it that you saw? Like, I don't have crazy handle, you know. I don't have a knack for scoring, you know, stuff like that. You know, I mean, obviously I've scored 30 before. I've scored 25. I've scored 39. You know, I've done those things, you know what I'm saying? But what do you really see, you know? And it's guys that I've come across that are jealous, you know, like, you know, for what, you know?
yeah, it makes sense.
For me, I don't see it, and it's not for me to see. You know what I'm saying? I can't see myself unless I'm looking at this camera, the screen, or the mirror. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? You know, however I leave or however I present myself, that's what you get. You know, it's not me trying to live my life, or you know, or funnel my, you know, my game or my life to be a certain type of way. This is all authentic. This is me.
Organic,
This is
what it
it,
is. Yes,
it,
sir.
it ain't nothing more but that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be a scorer. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to do that. The only thing I'm trying to do is win.
Play the right
You know?
way. And that's what you've done. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. So,
again,
I
I
mean,
respect that about
I think my coaching career was pretty successful. I think I got one kid that's about to, from his junior college, you know, in prep school. So I think he's about to, you know, play Division One.
you. Okay.
Got my young guy up at University of New Hampshire. He's playing. You know, Nick Johnson. He'll be playing. You know, up there next year. He blew out his knee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know and there's some other guys. You know, they like me. They don't like me. You know, but for me, I taught them the right way.
Yep.
You know, for what they think or who they thought they were. You know,
Yep.
I kind of like, you know, got the best, you know, out of them as
I,
far as, you know,
absolutely.
so,
Yeah,
you
that's how it
know,
goes when you coach, and everybody ain't gonna love you. You know what I mean? You public enemy number one. You got to deal with different egos, different emotions, different moods, but nobody wants to deal with yours. You know what I
and
mean?
we all make mistakes, you know,
Absolutely.
we all
That's
make
how we
mistakes,
learn.
you know, but, you know, it is what it is,
Hey,
you
listen,
know.
I was coaching a team, a 19 and under team in Dyckman, right? And I'm not gonna say the dude's name so that it doesn't seem like I'm taking a shot. But they brought me this kid that eventually won Mr. Basketball, right? The kid came to see my team play during the season. We got punched that game. So he was like, y'all want me to play with these dudes? And he laughed it off, right? Month and a half later, we in the chip. He shows up. Where's my uniform?
Can I play? Nah, it's quiet.
Oh, he said, where's my uniform? So I was like, wait a minute, like they must have not told him about me, but it's cool. He's gonna learn today. So the commissioner of the tournament's telling me, yo, give him a uniform, please. You know, it's a good look for the tournament, whatever. I gave him a uniform. You ain't say nothing about playing him. You feel me? I gave him a uniform. Now, mind you, I'm in the championship playing against New Heights, 9 D1 dudes on that team. We got them out of here. They beat us by 55 in the regular season. We met them in the playoffs. They had 3 years without losing. We got them out of here. So we done killed the bull. And now you're going to tell me this kid's going to show up for one game and I got to play him? So even the kids on my team were like, yo, he's nice. I said, so well, y'all got me here. I put the kid in the game, 2 straight turnovers.
Oh, yeah. Nah.
Took him out the game. He's sitting behind me, and he tells his friend, oh, this coach don't know what he's doing. They're about to lose. Not only did I win, I won it twice in the same night, 16s and 19s, and came back and won it again with the same group, 19 the next year. Like, come on, stop that. Like, I don't go by that. You know what I mean? Like, there's too much of that and too many people respecting what you hear about somebody. Like, that doesn't mean you're a good basketball player. Basketball is 5-on-5, bro. One person ain't never beat 5 people in his life. You know what I'm saying?
Never seen it.
Yeah, you need different types of players to do different types of things. Are you willing to do what the team needs you to do to win? If not, yeah, I can't mess with you, bro. Because I got 4 other kids out here on the floor with you. You know what I mean? So that's why I say players like you are underappreciated, but appreciated by those who know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because every team needs players like you and players that are going to play to win, not for individual accomplishment. I had 40, but we lost by 15. Like,
that's why I love playing with my family. I love playing with each one teacher. We all move the ball, you know, we all play. And, you know, if somebody's not hot, somebody got to pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
What it is.
You know, I had that same thing with, you know, Team 914.
Yeah.
You know, with those guys, you know. When problem wasn't there, you know, somebody picked it up. Whether it was me, Jomo, you know, somebody picked it up. You know, so, and we had the big bully. You had Jeff, you know, so.
Yeah, it's like you got to make sacrifices. I had a team in Dyckman. I had Kenny Sack, Kiki, Muggsy, Dave Holmes, Jay Johnson, Kirill, Bobby. Man. I'm like, how's this going to go with one basketball? You know what I mean? And that and Kiki and everybody played basketball. Whoever was rolling, that's what we doing, okay? Now we doing this. You know what I mean? And we ran, we did what we needed to do. Got robbed in the chip, literally. But it was a team that, on paper, people were like, oh, it's only one basketball. Like, you got Muggs and Sat, like, and Kiki. Who's bringing up the right? Like, who's doing this? Don't worry about it. These are basketball players. They're going to figure it out.
Yo, the great thing is that all those names that you mentioned, you got, from what I heard, you got 5 point guards, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you in great shape.
You know what I mean? If they feel like playing together. Because at any given time, Kiki could feel, I'm going to go get 40 tonight. Sack could feel like, I'm going to get 40 tonight. Muggs could feel, I'm going to put these shots up. Like, it was none of that all summer. They played basketball. You know what I mean?
Even with that, if that's the case, that meant that one of them was hot. And you know, with those guys, they're unselfish that way, that if Kiki is hot, that's where we going.
And that's exactly what happened.
And that's big time really coming from Sat. You know, Muggs is all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from Sat. You know, but that's played as well. If you think of, he played with Andre Barrett.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they putting up numbers together.
Yeah.
And you know Sweet and Kyle Cuff had to eat too.
And Glove and you know what I mean? They had a brick over.
Yeah. So that was definitely built in. you had a good one.
Yeah, I definitely did, man. I definitely did.
Yeah,
I had a few goodies out there, man. You turned us
but
down one year, but it's all good. I respect it.
I turned who down? No, I didn't turn nobody down,
No,
man.
no, 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 not literally. Cause like I
Oh,
said, I told Bob, what's up with your man? He was like, he don't like doing the street thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Bobby never told me anything
No,
about
he
it.
didn't. He didn't tell you.
Yeah,
He told me
he
that wasn't
never.
your thing. So I
So
was like, okay.
and it's funny. I'm like, yo, these dudes don't invite me for nothing, man. You know, that's that's how crazy and funny that is. But I'm hearing the stories and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, I see why. Because you got Jason. You got Jay. You got Kiki. And then you got Ricky. And it's like, all right, cool. I understand. And it's like me playing with my family. You know, I got a family full of guards.
Yeah. You ain't bringing no guards over there.
I can't call Ricky.
Yep. Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. All right, I got another one. Thank you.
But
My
Marv, I'm
son,
not gonna hold you up too much longer, brother. I appreciate what you
I
did,
appreciate it.
man. 100%. And I salute your grind and your journey and your story. I respect it 100%. You put in that work. You know what I mean? And I just feel like more people that play the game the right way need to be acknowledged for it. It's not all about where you know what accomplishments you made, is how you approach the game and what you did for the game of basketball. And I respect what you did for the game of basketball, my brother.
My brother, I appreciate it.
100%. Like I said, I appreciate you taking this time out with me. You
Thanks
have
for having me.
a night with your family, and you already know, man, it's all love.
They on my back now. My son, feeding me, telling me he want to play and stuff like that, man. Both of them.
Don't hold up the young bull. He might get physical with you, bro.
Oh, but
You already know, my brother. You have a good night, and thank you again, Marv.
all right, man. Take
You
care.
already know.